someone's out there and they're trying to figure out how do I become an influencer, how to become a brand, what would you kind of tell them on maybe the steps of how to become an influencer?
If I was gonna do it all over again, I would tell you to be hyper focused on one subject. If it's you, like if you're trying to build yourself as the brand, awesome. Market yourself as that person. Whatever it is that you're trying to do as a coach, as a business, even if you're trying to do something goofy on TikTok, right? Like whatever your brand is, be hyper focused on that. The other is find who to collaborate with.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what the platform is. If you can add value to somebody else's brand on that same platform, they'll work with you all day. If you're willing to give up your time and your effort to help somebody else build their brand, they'll return the favor. So I would do those two things. I would hyper focus on one specific niche that you want to be, whoever that is, and then I would find and do your homework on who you want to collaborate with.
So if I put it in letters, it would be hyper focus on content and collaboration.
Yep.
CC, content and collaboration.
Yep.
Yeah, I think looking back, even my own brand, like one of the mistakes I made was going, years ago I was getting into it, was going way too wide. And trying to be like a lot of things to a lot of crowd versus just like you're saying, hyper focus on this one concept, this one content, and hammering that one content over and over and over, like you have with Tiny House. And then the collaboration part, I think, is a piece where a lot of people miss out on, is collaborating with others, because most people want to work with. When you're in the industry and you're a business, a lot of times they want to work with you. It's a benefit to both sides, basically.
Absolutely, especially if you're looking for content. Like if you're not the one always creating your own content, you got to find it and you got to go out and search for that. So if you have someone that's willing to bring you content that's relative to what you do, why in the world would you not take that? Especially if all you're doing in return is tagging them in a post or shouting them out in some way. It can mean the world to that person. Like when I first started out and I have 100 followers, if I had a page that had 1,000 followers that was willing to shout me out, that was everything. Like I thought I was on top of the mountain.
Right.
And like now, one of the things I do with my page is I look for builders that haven't, quote unquote, been discovered yet, and try to find the homes that they're building so I can shout them out so more people around the country can find them, because people have no idea who they are. They might be in some random place in Minnesota that no one's ever heard of, and they haven't hit the scene yet, but they build an awesome house.
When you look at social media, because I know a lot of brands reach out to you now to try to help them grow, different large companies, and with really nothing to do with tiny homes, right? What do you see in social media? Do you see it shifting, growing? Where do you see social media heading right now?
A couple of years ago, there was a lot of talk about how social media, and especially influencers in particular, right? Like they were the worst of the worst,
right?
And that fad was going to die from a marketing standpoint. Like nobody was going to be able to use that. People were going to stop following whoever a big name was. I saw the exact opposite. I saw it as this is where everyone is going to want to go, because no matter what you're paying for, you know who the demographic is. You know you can reach them, because the person that you're using as that influencer has the connection with their audience. If you create a following on a social platform, no matter which one it is, those are your people. Like that's who you talk to. Those are your friends, right? So I think the influencer world, I think social media in particular, is one that everyone, I don't care what your business is, as weird, as random as it is, as tiny homes is, as anything else, you have to have your social media set up, because that's how you're always going to be able to connect with your audience. And then from there, you get email, you get phone number, you get whatever else that you can control from that point to continue that, so that if one platform dies off or another one comes up, you still have control over who that is. But I think social media is something that everyone should be using to promote their brand or their product.
I agree with you, and I love what you said earlier, because I think that every company in America, every small business, someone watching right now that's at home and running doesn't matter to be a daycare, should have a social media page that they're running, building that brand off of. You said a while ago, do you agree that every business owner should have you be using social media right now?
Absolutely.
Is there any reason they wouldn't be?
No.
I'm trying to be devil's advocate here.
Like you don't even, like you can do exactly what I did. Like I didn't pay for anything. Like I literally I went out and I found other Instagram pages that I can collaborate with. The tree houses, outdoor companies, camping companies, anybody that was anything relative to tiny homes. Hit them up through their DM, just ask like, hey, I'm just looking to find a way to kind of get a shout out for a shout out, or some way that we could both benefit from this. I'll post about you, you can post about me. That was literally how that started. So I would work 10 to 12 hours in the shop, and then I would go home and work another 4 or 5 hours specifically on Instagram, hitting people up. As a business owner, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, because you can build your entire business, especially now that you can sell a physical product on Instagram. You can run your entire business through social media. You don't want that to be the business, but you can definitely run that for free marketing through social.